May the Cox be with you. The Phase 4 is here and it's big. It's so huge, man. There is plenty to go through with the final batch of content coming to Legion Remix, so let's dive in. Oh, and apart from the standard changes, I've also included hidden housing rewards you can claim ahead of midnight, the best rewards that you can focus on, and a tier list of things to do to make the most out of your time in the game. Starting with the 3 new zones on Argus, the homeworld of Eredar that has been exploited by Legion for thousands of years, we'll take the Vindicar ship to get there, which offers a look at the evolution of the Draenei aesthetic. First, we'll land in Kroken, with its rather hellish landscape, full of dark rocks, fell-tainted groves, swarms of demons, and plenty of Legion portals. Then we'll make our way to Anthoran Wastes, which is rather barren compared to the first zone, but it's the home to our final raid of the expansion, which we'll discuss in a moment. And finally, we will visit Eredaf, the final zone of Legion expansion, which once was a beautiful and highly prosperous city, and I guess now it isn't. Here, we will find the last dungeon added to the game. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The zone used to be called Makari, but they renamed it to Eredaf in Shadowlands. I think it was patch 9.1.5, and it was something to do with drama inside Blizzard in 2021. I wonder what they're gonna do now with Legion Remix, because technically we're not playing in post-Shadowlands era, if that makes sense. So, in case they kept the old name Makari, I meant the same zone, Eredaf, Makari, this is interchangeable, okay? Fun fact, despite being a separate planet, Argus, it has, the world soul of a sleeping titan like Azeroth. Argus shares its map with the Broken Isles continent map instead of the world map, and it is listed as a continent of Azeroth in the map menu. All of those zones will come with new campaign chapters, world quests, invasion events, world bosses, reputations, rare spawns, yada yada yada. So if you're planning to complete Legion Remix for 100% like me, then you better take time off work, okay? You will need it, trust me. On the point of invasion events, it will come handy to know this later in the video. Those are short group scenarios accessed through spawned portals across Argus. There are 2 types. All of them include a little bit of trash mobs and a boss and a little bit of quest, lore, etc. So a nice contained piece of content. But the phase wouldn't be complete without new locations to grind our power in. So let's take a look at the new dungeon and the new raid. We're getting 9 achievements to help you cap the infinite knowledge points and catch up with the power race if you are behind. These are: you are now prepared for completing the Argus campaign, Heroic, Sit of the Triumvirate for completing the new dungeon in the heroic mode, Legion Remix Dungeoneer for completing all dungeons in Legion Remix, now possible, and then we have Mythic Legion Remix Dungeoneer for completing all mythics, also now possible. And then we have Antaurus the Burning Throne for completing the new raid on any difficulty, so don't sweat. Then we have Breaking the Legion 1, which is Remix unique achievement for completing a lesser invasion points on Argus. And next we have Greater Invasion Points, again unique to Remix for completing, I mean, you guessed it, a greater invasion points. There is 1 achievement for completing your first greater invasion, and then there is a second achievement for completing 5 of those. So keep going, okay? And then finally we have Argus invasion point bosses for doing all invasion points on Argus. Like I mentioned before, those invasions, they have their own kind of scenario, trash mobs, bosses, so you basically have to hunt all of those invasion variations to find all those needed bosses for the achievement. As you may know, you can earn 36 infinite knowledge points, but since now there are total 46 achievements that grant them, anything above the cap will be converted into bronze. So that's still worth doing if you want to buy collectibles at Infinite Bazaar. And there's a lot to buy, trust me bro. Phase 4 unlocks all items from vendors. So let's take a closer look at the new rewards and at how much bronze you will need total to buy them. Without reading all the new rewards out loud, because there's honestly over 40 of them, I will name a couple that should be on the top of your list. You can now obtain the final and fourth Legion Remix transmog by completing all Legion Remix raids on the Mythic difficulty. I think Blizzard really cooked with the transmogs, so I highly recommend getting them. By the way, if you need help getting those, ping us on Discord, link is in the description. And the second reward I'd like you to take a look at is the title of the Infinite Chaos. What a fitting name, considering our damage can't fit the screen, and when you mass AoE Karazhan, FPS drops to minus 187. Anyway, getting it is super simple. Just do all raids on the heroic difficulty, and that's it. As for the rest of the rewards, I highly recommend you visit vendors or load up your characters on Completionism.com to see what you are missing. There are plenty of new pet toys, transmog, sets, mounts, etc. Buying all of the new collectibles just from Phase 4 will set you back 2 million of bronze. And that means the total cost of all available items is now 6.5 million of bronze, man. Now, that's quite a sum, so how do you get that much money? I would say take advantage of the infinite knowledge overflow. Every point earned beyond the cap converts into bronze, and then just do achievements which reward bronze caches. I think this is the fastest way to get rich in the game. And while you're at it, put aside a little bit of bronze to buy Housing Decor to enjoy in Midnight. Remember that NPC named Domelius at Infinite Bazaar? The one that says he's late and not ready to sell you anything yet? Well, he won't be ready in Phase 4 either, but that doesn't mean there's nothing for you to do to prepare for his grand opening. You get a Eredar Lord's Fell Torch by hitting Exalted with Argosian Reach, and I think this is going to happen whether or not you want it, just play the game. And then you get a Corruption Pit by completing the Legion Remix raids achievement, which is exactly what it says on the tin. Do all 5 raids on any difficulty. Our friend Domelius expects to open his shop with 17 items on the 9th of December with the final phase of Legion Remix, so make sure you've done all the prerequisites by then. Hey, but I get it, not everyone is into player housing, so if that's you, I've got something better for you. Here are the 5 must-have rewards coming to Phase 4 of Legion Remix. First up, we've got 3 weapon appearances, including one that has become one of the most iconic looks in the game, bro. But let's start with Bulwark of Manorotoch. Very powerful demon, big demon. A gorgeous shield cosmetic available only in Legion Remix. You can get it by completing any 2 of 4 specific achievements related to the Argus zone, including the full Argus storyline, exploration, completing the new dungeon and raid, or getting exalted with the new rep. So there's that. Next is Tashalashashashash. Just look at it. It's a 2-handed sword originally dropped from Agramar in the Antorus raid. Good news is, you won't have to leave it to an extremely low drop chance in Legion Remix. The weapon appearance will be available from a vendor named Pythagoras. We'll also get a one-handed version of it, which is cute, but it won't cost just bronze. You'll have to bring 20 Everflame of Hatreds, which drop from the Agramar boss on any difficulty. Collecting 20 of these might sound like a lot, but Remix raids work on a daily lockout and not weekly like retail. And the amount you obtain also scales with the difficulty. So you should get 1 of those from the normal difficulty, 4 of those from the heroic difficulty, and 8 from the mythic difficulty. The third and final weapon appearance is Scythe of the Unmaker. Love the name, love the look. Dude, this is iconic polearm, and it was available as a drop from the final boss in the new raid back in original Legion. The drop rate was like 1% or less, bro. However, similarly to the Tashala Shashasha sword, we won't have to rely on the blessing from RNGesus. We'll have it available from the vendor, but instead of farming 20 Everflame of Hatred from Agramar, you will need 20 Cosmic Soul Silvers, which drop from the same final boss, Argus. Keeping up? We're not done yet. Moving on, we're getting 2 mounts that you will want to pay attention to. Reigns of the Ghastly Urzurken is a flying mount that's made out of stitched and tortured remains of Draenei souls on Argus. So if you're into that kind of things, then you can buy it from Hemet Nezingwari, located at Infinite Bazaar, for 10k bronze. So while this reward isn't locked behind any achievements, make sure to get it because it's only available during the Legion Remix event. Those who've always wanted the Violet Spellwing mount will have another chance. I said it before, this item has been unobtainable since Legion expansion ended. It's not clear yet how you'll get one, but if the information on the WoW website is accurate, it will drop from the Argus the Unmaker on both heroic and mythic difficulty. Now, originally, you'd have to kill the boss in the 6th phase to trigger a quest that would have the mount as a reward, but seeing how powerful players have become, I really doubt the boss will ever make to the 3rd phase, let alone 6th. So it makes sense to scrap that requirement. Dude, when I said this phase was huge, I really meant it. Okay? And if everything above wasn't enough to keep your schedule full for a few weeks ahead, let me help you fill it up some more. If you're like me, chasing that sweet 100% completion of every game you play, then there is that dangerously addictive tab in all the things add-on called Future Unobtainables. To turn that category of things, you need to open the main All the Things panel by typing /att in the chat and then hit click to create dynamic categories at the bottom and choose the first thing on the list, Future Unobtainable. Exclamation mark. It will show a mix of records from all versions of WoW, but focus on those from Legion Remix. For me, I can find them in the achievements, outdoor zones, and world event links. These are the collectibles which will go away when Legion Remix ends, so if you want to see the rolling credits at the end of the game, focus on those you're still missing. You'll have already completed some of them because they relate to common activities such as doing raids, completing the campaigns, etc. However, there are some really time-consuming ones to keep you occupied should you need a break from the daily routine. For example, defeating all world bosses which rotate daily. That takes time. Then you have leveling all classes to max level, and I know it takes, 1 hour to level up an alt, but there's 8 or 12 of them, so, good luck. Another example is searching for treasure chests, which is fucking annoying. And so yeah, that will keep you busy. But no pressure. The final phase of Legion Remix, coming on the 9th of December, will offer catch-up opportunities before the event is finally over on the 19th of January 26. For those who don't want to min-max the content, I've prepared a handy checklist that will help you to make the most out of your time in the game. So let's take a look. Oh, by the way, you don't have to pause the video. There is a link in the description to that. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is subscribe. Wait, sorry, wrong list. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is focus on the campaign. That will unlock all the rewards, all the map, the raids, the content, everything. So this is like the prerequisite. Do campaign, okay? This is what you want to do. With the campaign done, you want to go and complete the new dungeon and the new raid, because that gets you the achievements that are still pending, like the Legion Remix Dungeoneer, for example. Just get them out of the way, enjoy the infinite knowledge points, and move on, okay? With that done, go back to Infinite Bazaar and buy all the items. I bet you have some kind of bronze laying around right now in your wallet. Buy everything that you can, maybe even all of it, I don't know, but buy as much as you can, spend all that money, and then check on Completionism.com what you are still missing. It will just literally tell you you still need that and that and that, and then go ahead and get that in the upcoming days, right? So with those urgent tasks done, or I guess addressed, right, you can move on to doing the new raid on daily basis. That will get you the weapon appearance currency, right, for Teshala Shashash, etc., and for the scythe, and then also you will get a chance to drop the Violet Spellwing mount, which was unobtainable before, as I said. So new raid, daily rotation for sure. Next, you want to do invasions because there are achievements tied to those and infinite knowledge points tied to those. Take a note of those on the map. Complete all of them, kill all the bosses inside, and you'll be done. And finally, you wanna do world bosses because they are on that daily rotation. Okay, when you pull up the achievement, you might notice some of those missing, very particular world bosses missing, and you wanna keep an eye out to see if they have spawned. If yes, go ahead and kill them, and if not, just move on to the fillers, because the fillers are simply reputation. Get those new reputations. I think Army of the Light and Argesian Reach to Exalted. Again, those will happen on their own. You don't have to sweat. But in case you needed something to do, reputations are definitely a good idea. And finally, for those who want to see Legion Remix completed for 100% like me, there is this diabolical unobtainables tab in all the things add-on, which you can focus on as the last resort, I guess. But in any case, that will provide you enough to do for the remainder of the game mode, I think. So good luck with that. Okay, that's it. Phase 4 of Legion Remix is massive and allows players to complete plenty of achievements and quest lines to get more rewards. I'm aware that some of you might feel a little behind and discouraged maybe to join the game now, but keep in mind that this is the final wave of so much new content. After that, we're getting a cooling off period to give players an opportunity to catch up. I would even say there is too much time left before Legion Remix expires to keep you busy all the time. So don't worry, hop in and enjoy, because we don't know if Legion Remix is ever coming back. At the risk of sounding a little like a doomer, Legion Remix is slowly coming to a conclusion, so it's natural to look forward to the next shiny thing. Now, of course, I mean the new expansion, World of Warcraft Midnight. Out of all exciting features and sometimes controversial decisions, I am the most excited about the player housing. So, I made a video that goes over absolutely everything I learned from trying it. And if you're like me, who wants to start planning their dream house in Azeroth, go ahead and watch that video to learn more. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay Bybsie. What you gonna do, bitch? I still see you. You get me, bruv. Yeah. Where's my like?